Hi, this is the Alchemist Astrologer, and this is the February Inside Out reading for Sagittarius Sun, Sagittarius Rising, and Sagittarius Moon. So what are your conscious desires? This would be your known intentions. What's out in the open? What are you openly telling yourself and others about why you're doing what you're doing? You have the Magician, Frigidity, and Contemplate. So you're doing a lot of thinking, and perhaps you're taking stock of the messages that you are receiving, whether those are, your own internal messages or what others may be telling you. Maybe you're trying to figure out if you should take those things seriously or whether you're being taken seriously. And at this point, you may be trying to get some advice, come up with some ideas. Now, the Magician card says, for some of you, there could be a tie to a Gemini person. But for others of you, there's a focus on an important male figure. It could be your brother, could be your son, your husband, your boyfriend, could be the person in charge at the company. It could ultimately be your own ability, your ability to manifest. This is a card that is very self-oriented. So there's a focus on what you can do, what you can make happen by being self-motivated, being a self-starter, and taking advantage of opportunity. So for some of you, you're looking at your ability to make something happen. You could be looking at your resources. You also have the Frigidity card. So for some of you, you could be taking stock of a situation where perhaps assets are being frozen, or perhaps your feelings about something, or you may feel abandoned, rejected, left out in the cold. You may be looking at your ability to manifest, and yet there is a lack of warmth or personal connection with others. So your feelings may be frozen. Now, this is also a card of mojo, of magnetism. And for some of you, there could be issues surrounding sexuality, frigidity, impotence, a lack of libido. So you're doing some thinking about a situation, about your own capabilities, your own resources, opportunity, or whether that of someone else that you're involved with. And for some of you, if this is playing out negatively, you want to freeze out anything that smacks of falseness. So this would be somebody who is an opportunist, or a player, or a con, or an imposter, somebody who is continuously lying. So you may be contemplating a situation to figure out exactly how you feel about it. Again, there could be a lack of connection, a lack of warmth between you and someone else, or your feelings are frozen, or you feel like your own capabilities have been put on ice for whatever reason. Now, what are your unconscious desires? These are desires that you may not even be aware of because they live beneath the surface and they may be hidden to you. So these would be suppressed memories, painful experiences, repressed emotions that continue to wield influence over your life, your behavior, without your even realizing it. And sometimes these unconscious desires work in tandem with your conscious ones, or they work against them. So they may not be in alignment, and very often they can be at the root of why you're doing what you're doing, the real motivation behind your actions, in spite of what you are saying or projecting to others. So you have the Queen of Pentacles, ego, and passion. So for some of you, there could be an earth sign involved, maybe a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising, male or female, or just the traits of this queen are important. Now, this is a queen who's very focused on growing something, nurturing it, whether that is her family, a relationship, her business, her garden, her environment, her education. Whatever she's putting her energy into, she wants to see some tangible results from that. And remember, you have the Magician and manifesting. For some of you, if you're a woman, perhaps you are rejecting men for whatever reason. And maybe this is you thinking, I can do it by myself. I can make it happen. Because the Queen of Pentacles is someone who organizes, she manages, and she can do it all. She can, bring home the bacon fried up in the pan and never let you forget you're the man. So she is very capable. The problem is she can go too far. She's so capable that she tries to exert her governance over everything. And she may be making decisions that aren't hers to make. So there could be some boundary issues that crop up, or the ability to manifest. If she's in her negative, she's not capable. She may let herself go, the house go, her responsibilities. She's not acting practically. She doesn't act like she has good sense. So you are unconsciously, there's something where you may want to get some answers. And whatever it is, it's triggering your ego for some reason. Maybe, there's either you are taking on traits or you're involved with somebody who is acting with a big head and a small heart. It could be somebody that you were passionately involved with once. Or it could be you recognize that feelings have been put on ice and there's a need to mend a relationship, to re-inject the passion within something. Or perhaps some ego is triggered about some sexual issues. If those are problematic, it could have been something that happened that triggered ego about that. So there's a need to get some bottom line answers. So whatever's going on over here, this conscious desire where you're reviewing and contemplating rejection or warmth or sexuality, that at the root of that is this need to get some answers about something where passion or anger is involved and the ego has been triggered. Now, in spite of these desires, or in addition to these desires, what is it that you actually need from a situation? You have the Queen of Wands. So this is you. This is your card. And the Queen of Wands is very passionate. She's got a lot of charm, a lot of magnetism. Her intuition is strong. She acts on her instincts. She's comfortable with herself. And if this is about sexuality, this is a queen, and this is your need, who needs to be in touch with herself, her own sexuality. She needs to be comfortable with her needs, her desires, her body, her wants, and she knows how to go after what she wants. And usually she can pull off a lot. She can get away with things that other people can't. So this is about trying to steer a matter your way. There's a need to wield your influence positively. Now, she's very protective and loving and generous. She may be very well connected. So when she cares about something, she puts her all into it, her passion. And she's very protective of those. If you have a dream, she wants to help you make that dream happen. So this is about the positive use of your influence, directing your passion toward what it is that you desire in a positive way. So for some of you, you're going to be getting quite a bit of attention. You may be, you may have a number of suitors attracted to you, people that are interested in you. Could be romantically, business-wise, socially. But this is a card of influence and trying to steer a situation your way. And that's what's needed with regard to, you have Carnival and Serendipity. So there's something in the offing that focuses on fun, excitement, pleasure. You may be involved in a relationship that is a lot of fun, and yet you don't really know where it's going. You just know that it's exciting in this moment in time. Something fortunate, some unexpected news or an encounter where you're trying to steer matters your way. Now, it may have to do with travel or transportation issues, entertainment, thrill-seeking, but there is a need for you to steer matters your way based on something fortunate that should be giving you more pleasure, a more lighthearted outlook on life. Especially, again, if there hasn't been any warmth or depth, some ego or anger has been triggered, it's time to create a situation that feels lighter, healthier, happier. Now, the positive influence is this King of Swords. So again, this could be air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, male or female, or just the traits of this king. And this is a king who's very solution-oriented. So if part of the issue is some bottom line answers, this is a king who can cut through all of the crap to get to those solutions. He's very analytical. He's very oriented towards solving problems. In fact, that's his way of showing his love, because he's not very good with sweet words, whispering sweet nothings, or being intimate. He may be rather clumsy at that. So his way of dealing with the situation is to be protective, to make a fair and just decision to solve a problem. So that's the positive influence. You may be seeking to handle something more effectively and trying to decide what it is you should cut out of your life and what is worthy of protecting. So you're having to make some important decisions, or you are connecting with authority figures or decision makers who have a positive influence on you. And it may tie to intimacy and appreciation of some sort. Now, for some of you, again, this is about appreciating language, the way something is delivered, the way something is said. So you may be working on your communication skills. You may be making decisions that bring you closer, add more warmth or depth in your connection, and something that may eventually lead to physical intimacy. So this is an appreciation for handling things more effectively, possibly in the bedroom or in a warmer, more loving way. The negative influence, this is what would be, the people, the issues, the obstacles, the conditions that are challenging your situation and keeping you limited. You have the Tower, distance reversed, and enchantment. So there's some pressure that you're feeling in a situation that you've been enchanted with. Something about it hasn't taken off. It didn't meet the expectation that you had. For some of you, maybe this is about you weren't able to travel somewhere and you're upset about that. Or a relationship didn't work out and you ended up separating or breaking off. Or again, maybe there were some words that were spoken that were shocking, surprising, upsetting. So the Tower says, it's time for you to rebuild a situation. You're going to have to let go of a belief or a situation, a relationship, a tangible something that isn't serving you, that's keeping you stagnant, keeping you from growing. And maybe, it's time for you to break free, for you to have the fun, to change your outlook. So this is about gaining some kind of psychological insight that may have come about through some kind of trauma or stress or difficult situation. The point is for you to gain some kind of freedom in a situation or aspect of your life where you've been in bondage. So it could also be, being pressured to examine whether you can go the distance in a situation or someone you're involved with. It may be that there's a difficult situation that has to be endured, and either you have to be there for a partner or you want them to be there for you. So, or any kind of circumstance, something that you were enchanted with or drawn to. Now, you may be drawn to confrontation. You may be drawn to crisis. That may have become a part of your existence now. And so that's a negative influence. Whatever it is you're having to, again, not hesitate, not procrastinate. You're going to have to reorganize a situation and surrender to it. At the heart of the matter, the crux of your situation is this Eight of Cups. There's some disappointment about the past. And either you walked away or someone else did. So there are issues of feeling abandoned, disenchanted with something that didn't feel fulfilling to you. So you're moving on, and yet there's some uncertainty that may make you uncomfortable. You may not even know what you want. And so you're conflicted. And that inner conflict keeps you at odds in a battle with other people. So you may be spending some time, you may be going off on your own to reconsider what it is you actually want from life, what you want from your situation. Even if you don't know where you're headed, you know that where you came from is not where you want to be. So for some of you, in about a month's time, you may see some real changes. Maybe you're in a new relationship or a new job. You're moving towards something different. And it may have to do with actually relocating. It could be traveling, or it could be moving on from a situation where you've been saddled with some kind of baggage. Baggage that's following you around. Could be childhood patterns, could be your ego being triggered, could be past relationships. There are chronic negative behaviors that damage or prevent you from having a relationship. And you want to move on from that. You want to pack your bags and, find something better, something that's more fulfilling to you. So you're going to have to sort through some things. Again, it may come through crisis or trauma or stress in order for you to get to the other side of a situation where you've had some desires. Now, maybe somebody is exhibiting desire in a negative way. Or maybe you yourself are saddled with negative issues connected to desire or love or sexuality that you need to sort through. The call to action is engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. So perhaps you're thinking of getting engaged, or you're just, again, it doesn't have to be your love life. It could be your level of commitment to something, a promise, a proposal, an undertaking, a desire, a pursuit. You yourself need to figure out what you want, get through the baggage, and move to the next phase of a situation. You also have take the risk. So you're encouraged, if you're thinking about taking something, a relationship, a pursuit to the next level, what are your capabilities? Can you manifest? You can if you're a self-starter, if you're willing to take the risk. You may surprise yourself. Maybe you're going to fall in love. Maybe you're going to have a totally different lifestyle. And you can appreciate handling something more effectively or cutting it out of your life altogether. It's time for you to feel the exhilaration of life again, to get engaged, whether that's to a person or simply with the love of life. All right, Sagittarius, now that you know what's at the heart of your situation for February, head over to Vimeo to find out the end of the story, what you can change, what you can't, how it's all likely to turn out. I want to thank you for sharing your time and space. Please be sure to like and subscribe. If you're interested in purchasing any of the Love Indie decks featured in this reading, the link is below.